1999 was a wild year for television, a time when networks were throwing anything and everything at the screen, hoping something would stick. Amidst the buzz of Y2K panic in the golden age of Friends and the West Wing, some shows just didn't make the cut. Today we're diving into 10 shows that premiered in 1999 with high hopes, and left just as quickly, often leaving audiences scratching their heads. Join us as we uncover what went wrong with these ambitious, bizarre, and sometimes brilliant TV experiments. Number 10, Oh, Grow Up.
Yeah, don't you ever sweat? Or is that a gay thing?
Yes, Norris, that's a gay thing.
Premiering on September 22nd, 1999, Oh, Grow Up was based on Alan Ball's stage play, Bachelor Holiday. Ball, who had found success writing for Grace Under Fire and Sybil, attempted to bring his sharp wit to this sitcom about three former college buddies navigating adulthood and failing spectacularly. The trio consisted of Hunter, a charming ladies' man grappling with the surprise arrival of his 13-year-old daughter, Chloe; Ford, a newly out divorcee, discovering life beyond the closet; and Norris, a struggling artist. And let's not forget the subtitled dog, because what sitcom doesn't need a talking pet to hit rock bottom faster? Despite being slotted after The Drew Carey Show, Oh, Grow Up tanked in the ratings. In a desperate move, ABC shuffled it to Tuesdays between Spin City and Dharma and Greg, hoping for a miracle. After a few more dismal episodes, the network pulled the plug, leaving the last two episodes to gather dust. So what went wrong? When a show is billed as a sitcom, viewers expect laughs. Instead, Oh, Grow Up served as awkward scenarios, punctuated by overzealous laugh track that seemed to mock the audience more than compliment the jokes. Even with Ball's pedigree, the show struggled to find its comedic footing. Perhaps the most ironic part, a sitcom about growing up, couldn't mature fast enough to avoid an early cancellation. Number 9, Payne. Debuting on March 7, 1999, as a mid-season replacement on CBS. Payne starred John Larroquette, Jo Beth Williams, and Julie Benz. This American adaptation of the iconic British sitcom Fawlty Towers tried to capture the magic of its predecessor, but left out the slapstick and farce, which were precisely what made Fawlty Towers so hilarious in the first place. From its premiere, Payne was met with harsh criticism. Unfortunately, this wasn't the first time an Americanized Fawlty Towers failed. In 1983, Amanda's, starring B. Arthur, aired on ABC. It lasted only 10 episodes, before meeting the same fate. There were even whispers of John Cleese joining Payne as a rival hotel owner in a potential second season. But the show's lackluster performance ensured it never got that far. Even without the shadow of Fawlty Towers, Payne struggled to stand on its own. The writing lacked the charm and wit needed to make it memorable. And while John Larroquette is undeniably talented, he was miscast as the uptight hotel owner. The result? A comedy that was more awkward than amusing. CBS pulled the show before it could complete its first season, leaving audiences to wonder what may have been if they had just let sleeping sitcoms lie. Number 8, Shasta Mcnasty.
Shasta Mcnasty. Shasta Mcnasty.
Premiering on October 5th, 1999 on UPN, Shasta Mcnasty followed three slackers in a rock band who spent their days chasing dates, pranking the pizza guy, and fully embracing mediocrity. Despite its quirky premise, the show quickly became synonymous with chaotic absurdity. Perhaps the most notable aspect of Shasta Mcnasty was its cast, featuring Jake Busey, yes, that's Gary's son, and even Vern Troyer from Austin Powers. The show had potential but couldn't overcome its shallow humor and lack of focus. Halfway through its first season, Shasta Mcnasty was retooled in an effort to boost ratings. Unfortunately, the changes came too late. The ratings remained dismal and UPN decided not to renew the show for a second season. Interestingly, reviews of Shasta Mcnasty have become more favorable over time, with some fans nostalgically praising its weirdness and sporadic humor. Many argue it was canceled too soon and might have fared better with a stronger time slot or a more coherent direction. Regardless, these slackers found themselves unemployed after just one season, leaving viewers to wonder what may have been if the band had struck a better chord. Number 7, Stark Raving Mad.
Batty bunkers crazy, loopy loony hazy. chaotic, neurotic, peculiar, and amazing.
Released on September 23, 1999 on NBC, Stark Raving Mad was created by the same mind behind Just Shoot Me and Modern Family, starring Neil Patrick Harris as a germophobic book editor, Henry McNeely, and Tony Shalhoub as an eccentric horror writer, Ian Stark. The show paired two polar opposites for comedic tension. While Henry's OCD kept him in a constant state of discomfort, Ian's love for practical jokes and chaos kept things interesting. Despite producing 22 episodes, only 18 made it to air before NBC canceled the series, citing low retention from its lead-in show, Frasier. However, the show itself was far from bad. In fact, it was so good that it won the People's Choice Award for Best New Comedy that year. The real issue? Timing. Stark Raving Mad faced off against The Phenomenon, that was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, during its meteoric rise. The game show dominated ratings, crushing everything in its path, and Stark Raving Mad never stood a chance. In hindsight, the show's untimely demise was unfortunate, but not career-ending for those involved. Neil Patrick Harris, Tony Shalhoub, and the show's creator all went on to achieve significant success, proving that sometimes even great shows can't beat bad timing. Number 6, Action.
He's trying to survive up on Mulholland Drive. He's got the phone in the car in his hand.
Premiering on September 16, 1999 on Fox, Action was a dark comedy that took a biting, irreverent look at Hollywood culture. Jay Moore starred as Peter Dragon, a sleazy and morally bankrupt movie producer navigating the absurdities of the entertainment industry. The series pulled no punches, delivering sharp satire and unapologetic humor that resonated with critics and a niche audience. However, of the 13 episodes produced, only 8 aired during its original run. The remaining episodes eventually found their way to FX and, years later, to IFC in 2012. Fox cited low ratings as the reason for the show's premature cancellation, but the problem might have been the network itself. Jay Moore has often suggested that Fox simply didn't understand the show's edgy concept, and it's hard to argue otherwise. I will personally defend Action. It was funny then and it's still funny now. It was never meant to be taken seriously. Creator Chris Thompson reportedly turned down an offer from HBO in favor of Fox, a decision that in hindsight seems like a missed opportunity. Action could have thrived with the creative freedom and audience it deserved. Despite its short lifespan, Action remains a cult favorite among fans who appreciate its cutting wit and brutally honest portrayal of Hollywood's darker side. It may have flopped in 1999, but in the right hands, it could have been a blockbuster.
And these aren't ordinary measles, people. These are German measles. German. We all know what that means. They're highly organized, they're efficient, and they're brutal. German measles will not stop their path of destruction until somebody stands up to them and says, "Never again." Well, I, Peter Dragon, am here today to say, never again. She sneezed on me. Nice catch.
Number 5, Get Real. Premiering on September 8, 1999 on Fox, Get Real was created by Clyde Phillips, the mastermind behind Parker Lewis Can't Lose, Suddenly Susan, and Dexter. This family dramedy followed the Green family as they navigated the messy challenges of growing up, from teenage angst to midlife crisis. What set Get Real apart was its unique narrative style, including characters breaking the fourth wall.
I know what you're thinking. This is another one of those smart-ass shows where the kids talk to the audience like on Dawson's Creek, which, actually, come to think of it, I'm not even sure does voiceovers.
The show also marked the screen debuts of future Hollywood stars, Jesse Eisenberg and Anne Hathaway, who played siblings Kenny and Megan Green. Other notable cast members included Taryn Manning, John Tenney, Christina Milian, and Eric Christian Olsen. Despite receiving generally positive reviews, Get Real struggled in its time slot, competing against heavyweights like The West Wing and Roswell. The ratings battle proved too much, and Fox canceled the series before airing its final 2 episodes. As a big Clyde Phillips fan myself, this show was right up my alley. A bit odd and out of the box, but exactly what I liked at the time. In retrospect, To Get Real was a heartfelt show with a lot to offer, blending humor and drama in a way that resonated with its small but loyal fan base. Sadly, it was a victim of bad timing and fierce competition, leaving viewers to wonder what might have been if the Greens had been given more time to grow. Number 4, Odd Man Out. Premiering on September 24th, 1999 on ABC, Odd Man Out was part of the dying TGIF block, marking the final new sitcom released during the original run of the iconic lineup. The show followed Andrew Whitney, a 15-year-old boy played by Eric Von Detten, as he navigated life as the only male in a house full of women, his 3 sisters, mother, and aunt. Each episode typically revolved around Andrew's struggles in his estrogen-dominated household, often accompanied by a side plot featuring one of his family members. The premise, while relatable to some, failed to bring anything fresh or unique to the table. The show's audience mainly consisted of Eric Von Detten's fans, primarily teenage girls and some boys, but that wasn't enough to sustain its run. After 13 episodes, ABC canceled the series. To make matters worse, Odd Man Out was caught in the sinking ship of the TGIF block, which ABC rebranded at the end of the season, signaling the end of an era. In retrospect, Odd Man Out was a forgettable attempt to capture the TGIF magic one last time. While it may hold nostalgic value for a select few, it's largely remembered as the show that marked the conclusion of a beloved Friday night tradition. Number 3, Grown Ups. Premiering on August 23, 1999 on UPN. Grown Ups followed the lives of 3 post-college friends stumbling through adulthood. The show starred Jaleel White as Jay, Dave Ruby as Gordon, and Marissa Ribisi as Sherry. Despite its promising premise, the series struggled to find its comedic voice. And let's address the elephant in the room. No matter the role, Jaleel White couldn't shake his Family Matters alter ego, Steve Urkel. This unfortunate typecasting overshadowed his performance and made it difficult for audiences to see him as anyone else. The show's lack of cohesion didn't help. A quick glance at the production team with the number of writers and directors reveals a mishmash of ideas that never quite gelled. Despite completing its 22-episode season, Grown Ups ended on a cliffhanger that was never resolved, as UPN canceled the series due to low ratings. For White, it was another unsuccessful attempt to redefine his career post-Urkel, proving that some TV personas are just too iconic to escape. Number 2, Now and Again. Premiering on September 24th, 1999 on CBS, Now and Again offered a unique blend of science fiction, drama, and action. The story follows Michael Wiseman, a middle-aged man whose brain is placed into a genetically engineered body after a fatal subway accident. To maintain the secrecy of the experiment, Michael must cut all ties with his family, leaving him to grapple with his new reality. The show boasted a compelling premise, strong performances, and a devoted fan base. However, it was also expensive to produce, and its ratings didn't justify the hefty price tag. CBS canceled the series after one 22-episode season, ending on a cliffhanger that left fans frustrated and wanting more. Over the years, Now and Again has gained a cult following and frequently appears on lists of shows canceled too soon. Its ambitious storytelling and emotional depth set it apart, making its premature cancellation all the more disappointing. Number 1, Crusade.
Who are you?
Matthew Gideon, Captain, attached to the Earth Alliance starship Excalibur.
Premiering on June 9th, 1999 on TNT, Crusade was a spin-off of the acclaimed sci-fi series Babylon 5. The show was set in the year 2267 and followed the crew of the starship Excalibur on a desperate mission to find a cure for a deadly alien plague threatening Earth. The series blended elements of space exploration, political intrigue, and ancient mysteries, staying true to the rich world building of its predecessor. Despite its promising premise and connection to the Babylon 5 universe, Crusade faced significant hurdles right from the start. Creative clashes between the creator and TNT led to multiple revisions of the show's direction, with the network demanding more action in standalone episodes, which conflicted with his vision of serialized storytelling. This tug-of-war resulted in inconsistent episodes that left fans feeling disconnected from the show's potential. Only 13 episodes were produced, and TNT canceled the series before it could fully hit its stride. For fans of Babylon 5, Crusade felt like an opportunity lost, an ambitious tale cut short before it could explore its deeper narrative arcs. Over the years, Crusade has been reassessed by sci-fi enthusiasts, with many appreciating its intriguing concepts and lamenting its untimely demise. It's now remembered as a series that, like its titular mission, was left unfinished.